Okay. Okay. Yeah. Why are we here again? Why are we doing this?
You said the last recording, we'll see you next week, and it's gonna be like, it was another month, and I told you not to say it, you said it anyway.
You said we'll see you next week?
He does that every time. Every time he says, well, because you probably left the video
just
before
because I disagreed doesn't mean I actually stopped watching.
It curses us.
I think it's funny how we both have lives. And
that's true.
You're chastising me for being busy?
No, I'm not chastising it. No, I'm chastising you for saying it.
How can you say that?
Don't say it. Every time you say it, we always like it's a month gap.
Because we're busy.
But don't say it if you know we're busy.
You just
sorry, Kevin. How dare you?
Okay, so yeah, welcome back, Bronwyn. Very nice to have you back on the couch.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love how nicely we're all getting along.
It's so good to see you again. It's been. What was the last time you? What was the only time you were on?
It was cold. I know that.
It was winter, like a few months ago, 3 months ago.
A week ago? I don't know. It was cold.
Definitely not a week ago.
No, yeah, because we weren't recording last week, so.
I think it was February.
It's been a hot minute. You know, you've been busy with your life and work and boyfriend and family and stuff. You're going to the cottage in the next little while. That's very exciting.
I went for the first time last weekend. It was awesome.
That's great.
That's great.
He's such a good conversationalist. Like it's just, and you know what?
Is this why you keep bringing me on? So you'll have someone actually to talk to.
Yeah, defend yourself, Mike. Yeah, say something. No, you're never at a loss of words.
I know.
You're at a loss of words, though, when you ignore people. And actually, have you, and this is a really bad segue, but I thought I would just kind of roll into the conversation because we wasted like 2 minutes on nothing, basically.
Oh, you were talking? What's going on?
I'm nothing. You were talking about me.
Before we started shooting, we were asking you if you ghosted someone, which you still have yet to answer that question, which I find very, very interesting.
There may have been instances of it.
So, and because I've clearly run out of ideas for this show, clearly, if we're doing this like once every month, I'm grasping at straws for conversation things. So you, in your infinite wisdom, suggested we talk about ghosting and that kind of culture.
So I suggested
You suggested it, and then I said that we're going to talk about it.
But I suggested it because actually my boss he does lessons, and he did a lesson on ghosting in business. Like when you have a prospect you're talking to and then suddenly they just disappear. And so I was like, okay, this is funny. It happens not just in the dating or social world. It actually happens in the corporate world too.
No, I know. I'm going through it with Streets of the Six right now. Well, not so much ghosting, but like you don't hear from them for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like conversation ping pong. But I can't talk about that.
I think if there's ping pong, then you don't even have the ghosting.
No, but like
ghosting,
they ghost for a long period of time, and then they like resurface.
No, ghosting is they're just gone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like they're a ghost.
Well, I can't get to it.
So your boss was talking about this with different prospects and stuff.
Not happening to him, but I'm sure at some point it has. But yeah. Teaching people how to kind of deal with it, or how to eliminate the idea of ghosting even happening. And so it's kind of, if I'm trying to sell you something, or I have a service I'm trying to sell to you, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm so interested, I'm going to totally do this, I'm going to, give me all this information, and then suddenly just, bye. Yeah,
so that's nice. So when it comes to dating, when it comes to like dating and stuff, so the same thing applies. You're interviewing a potential prospect.
You have a service.
There's a service that you're willing to offer, and then the next thing you know, it's like you never hear from them again.
I don't need it.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you're clearly deflecting on whether or not you've done it.
No, I didn't.
So let me ask you this then. Would you say that's always been the way people are, but we just have the technology now that allows us to ignore people easily? Or is this like is this like a current thing? Like, have people always kind of been flaky?
Hot seat. I think it's the both.
Do you care to elaborate, or?
I think it's the both. I think it's kind of been where people have always ignored people. Like, you've always had the person who, I'm sure it have been with phone calls, where you're screening calls and you're ignoring certain phone calls from people.
Oh, yeah.
But I think now...
all the time, yeah.
Now, well...
Ruby calls me? Not answering that. Oh! That's on camera! Oh, I gotta edit that
out. You said it! Ruby is our dear friend that we've made countless...
Don't waste your time, because I'm cutting all this out, by the way.
No, you're not.
Ruby, they're mean.
What are you talking about?
I'm on your
She
side.
No. She knows that
man.
her and I were like this. I'm like her second bestie. You're not her first bestie.
Oh, I'm so heartbroken.
Can I be your first bestie?
Yeah, you could be.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like you kind of, now the technology makes it easier, so I think the term ghosting is new.
It's a new thing, yeah.
But it's easier now. It's so much easier now.
Oh, for sure.
Well, Michael, do you feel, just like in your experience, just with meeting people and stuff, have you personally been ghosted, or have you ghosted someone before? But someone as interesting and perfect as yourself.
Oh my God,
feel like,
I'm not perfect.
I feel like no one's
I'm
ever
close.
ignored you because you are literally perfection.
I can move if you guys want to be alone.
No. This is I'm just
he
interested.
does this all the time though, and then he goes, "You're a dumbass," and it's like, well,
Don't
true.
swear.
Well, you're
Whatever.
Where's that?
Anyway,
That's
okay.
so mean.
Let's just talk what you said. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, okay? In terms of relationships, nope, don't need that. But in like just regular conversations, like having like friendships that have kind of gone and
Yeah.
you know, you have to. That is where it bothers me.
Like when you go to delete them off Facebook, but they've already deleted you off it.
Oh, that's what you're
had
talking.
that.
I wasn't even mentioning
I had
that,
But just
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. So like usually, like I always try to see it from the other person's point of view if they're ghosting me, because when I ghost somebody, I'm heartless about it, and he knows what I'm talking about.
I just think that it's so funny that you're saying like, oh, I'm gonna try and like empathize with the way that they're thinking. Like you're trying to like. Just like trying to get their perspective,
Right.
but then you're claiming everyone's stupid and
I
that
didn't
no
say
one
that.
knows anything.
I didn't
but
say
no,
that.
like it's not now, but like
I'm
in the
not a
past, you've
nihilist.
always said like, oh, people are like dumb, like just like generally people are stupid.
Oh yeah.
I've heard you say that actually.
So it's interesting how you're then saying, oh, I'm gonna try and like get on their level. It's like, but then you're gonna complain.
Well, no,
if they don't agree with you.
No. Kind of talked myself in a corner here.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how you get out of that.
Just keep digging. No, when someone takes me off like Facebook or Instagram, or there's that one person that took me off Instagram but kept me on Facebook, that was
interesting.
I did that by accident, okay? I tried to
wasn't
get
you.
both, and I forgot.
that's why you didn't see my FB invite. Okay, cool. Oh God. I'm trying to figure this out here.
Well, let's give Michael a second to just kind of like.
I don't even remember the question.
But so like when it comes to like the corporate stuff, I think that's interesting because I didn't realize that was outside of dating. I thought it was a more sort of related to online dating and talking to people. Because Kelly ghosted me the first time that we first started talking. And the next thing I knew, 2 weeks later, the desperate person that I am, I'm like, oh, hi, remember me? She's like, oh, yeah, I guess because this thing didn't work out, I guess I'll give you a chance. And here we are like a year later.
Speaking of which, I did message her a couple of days ago. She has yet to respond.
Okay. Well, this video will come out in a few days from now, so this will be, for sure. But again, like, because it happened on Tinder and all this stuff, I just think that it's interesting that even corporate world has this. And like, especially like if you're being interviewed for a position, I think it's interesting the prospects have the nerve to be like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore you.
Or the people hiring do the ghosting. That hurts. If I didn't get the job, great.
We've all been there.
Tell me I didn't get it. Don't just... There's still jobs that I'm still waiting to hear back from.
No, like that. Well, the worst is like when, like you're saying, it's like they go to the trouble of saying we're interested, and then they basically give you a verbal offer, and then they're like, okay.
Oh, I've never had it that far. I've had like the interview. They're like, yeah, we'll call you, and then they've never called.
Or,
and I get it. I didn't get the job, but
just say it.
Or they say like
or
you
an
can,
email like
you can message us for feedback, and then you try messaging them, and they don't ever give you that feedback. But if they ever try to reach you, you never will stop hearing from them. Mm-hmm. It's funny, in terms of ghosting, like, people will always, like, play it off. Like, if you run into somebody, it's like, oh, I never, got heard back. And it's like, oh, I was busy. Hello, we are on these things 24/7, 365. Don't tell me that you got busy. Okay?
Would you
I
not
have
say...
the problem the way I open a text or something, I mentally reply to it, and then I never actually reply. Like, I look at it and I'll be like, oh, Kevin's asking... this, and I'll just kind of look at them and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to say that. And then someone calls my attention, and I go, and by the time I get back, my phone's either locked or I'm just like,
it's a short attention span. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. You were saying that we're on our phones 24/7.
Right.
would you not say, both of you, it's socially acceptable to say, oh, I've been busy, because we all know how busy we are with lives and stuff. It's just, it's a nicer, because unlike you,
I'm just saying it's a bad excuse.
There are people who like to try and not destroy people's feelings whenever they come in contact with them. So it's like they try to like play it off as being nice. So it's like
going on
no, it's just like it's not animosity. It's just fact.
I don't know.
Right?
I was saying how perfect I was. Now I'm confused.
I feel like I think you can be busy for like a day or maybe 2 days,
right?
And then you're ignoring. Like there's a difference between. And again, if you were to come back to me and be like, "Hey, you never answered me," I'd be like, "You know what? I totally spaced. I opened my phone. Like I'd tell you the truth, or I'd be like, you know what? I forgot to answer you." It's just.
Sorry, it's just in the instances where like these people are on their phone all the time, like messaging and all this, and then it's just
they're
like
updating on social media and
like
stuff
constantly.
I disagree there. There's
what?
a difference between back in high school there was a guy who, I think he was actually a person I ghosted, but he was to the point where we were dating, like it was grade 9 or whatever, and we would be going.
What were we doing?
I would
not dating.
Oh God! And so we'd be going through.
Up top.
I would be talking to him, and let's say I'm on Twitter, and I'm scrolling through Twitter, and in fact I still do this to my boyfriend Cameron now, where I'm on Twitter. And I'm scrolling through it, I'm liking it, and I kind of get deep into it, and I kind of go into a tunnel, and I don't realize he's texted me. And then I put my phone away, and it's like 3 hours later, and I go back to him, I'm like, I am sorry, and have to apologize for that. But the guy, when I was younger, I would just blatantly ignore him because I didn't have the mental strength at that point, or attention span, to actually have a conversation with him. So I think if you're on your phone and you're looking at Instagram or you're scrolling through Facebook, that's completely different than having a full conversation with someone and maintaining that conversation.
What year were you in grade 9?
2010.
We just graduated. Okay.
Yeah, we graduated.
We were graduating high school. Yeah. That. Oh, yo. Because I'm just like, what you're saying, like, when I'm ghosting while I was scrolling Twitter, I was just like, Twitter wasn't around 2006 and we were in grade 9, so it's just like
I had one on BlackBerry, and I was scrolling this way then.
Wow, wow. But you know what though? It's I can.
2010, 2011. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like it's interesting. Like you're saying, it was a maturity thing for you. That you were saying you didn't have the mental capacity nor the attention span to have a conversation
in my
with
defense,
them,
this guy was very draining. Not my boyfriend now. Guy when I was younger. He was very mentally draining, and not just in not in a way he needed not in a way he needed help or he needed that, but he just needed attention all the time.
Been there.
Like, oh my God, I couldn't go to sleep without 6 text messages of, when are you waking up? Text me when you're up. I miss you. And I'm like, oh my God, I saw you like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, just like let you breathe, man.
Yeah. Now I can go all day not talking to Cam, and it's totally fine because we're both busy and we get to the end of the day and we have stuff to talk about. Like it's
it's good.
So.
But you know what? So like ghosting is a terrible thing, and
you know why? You know what it is? Because
okay.
Here's why they do it, right? Because people don't want it.
That's why everyone does it now.
Here's why people do it. People ghost and they let the conversation die or they ignore you or whatever because they do not want to be upfront and be like, okay, we're done now. We're not talking anymore. I'm done talking to you. They don't want to do that. They're just it's like the nice coward's way out, you know?
Why is it?
But wait, I will say there's people who, and not to get into the whole feminism, girls, whatever thing, maybe this is more of a thing for females, but there are times where I have told a guy I'm not interested and he's actually got creepy or whatever, like you don't
guys
want to
can do
talk
that.
to him.
Guys can be creepy.
And
girls
they don't take no for an answer. And that's when I just ghost. Like otherwise I would fully say to someone, now that I've been in a relationship it's different, but I would fully say to someone, I'm not interested. Sorry, don't feel it. Let's be friends or I'm done. Like however I would say it. I'm sorry, touchy subject.
What? It's fine. We were not talking about me.
But then there's other people who I could say that. We were not talking about you. There's other people who I would say that to, and they still wouldn't, stop making that face, still wouldn't get the hint.
Right.
And so then I'd be like, okay, I'm done. And I'd usually block their numbers.
Well, in that instance, that's fine. That's fine. Like
I have permission.
You got finally after all these years.
So how would you guys recommend one does, like, what kind of things can one do to not engage in ghosting?
To not get ghosted or to not be ghosted?
Yeah,
or not
you're
ghost?
asking
Either
two
way.
separate questions here.
Either way, like if you
Which one do you want to answer?
Well,
thinking.
let's say Michael, because
I ghost.
The thing that I love about Michael is that you're very honest, and just what you were saying earlier about being like nice, like the cowardice disguised as being nice.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem because you have the confidence and you have the ability to speak your mind, and if it offends people, again, you're confident enough in yourself to not care what the reprisals are.
Okay, wait, I have a question. Okay. If you were in a conversation with someone and you disagreed with them, would you tell them to shut up or like fully say like not directly, but would you? If you and I are having a conversation and you had a completely different opinion than me, would you look at me and be like, "Okay, look, this is why I think you're wrong"?
Well, because our chats over the years have always been lovely, so I would not.
This is literally the second time I've ever spoken to you.
Okay, well, okay, you didn't.
Over the years,
you didn't play off that. Oh, okay.
No, but you guys love, but you love me both, right? So it's like, I mean.
So no, like if it's a look, if you're coming at me with
okay.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I've stopped listening. But like
He is honest.
but oh my god, you know what? I'm coming off as a huge dick in this episode. Good, but if you and I are having a conversation and it's polite and I'm not gonna be like a dick right off the bat.
Well, you'll have a discussion.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not closed off that I won't listen.
He'll tell you why you're wrong.
But
By the
like,
way, he's swearing a lot.
what did I say?
Male genitalia.
Oh, come on! Give me a break. But, like, she's just doing this to get a rise out of me now. Pun not intended. But
Please edit that out. Please edit that out.
Yeah, that's coming
okay. But no, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Because you asked me the question.
Right.
I'll answer the question. If I'm really strong in my belief and it's a conversation that's going well, I will not be nasty or blunt, as they say, right off the bat. Like, if it's very confrontational, and I've been in situations where we're having not a discussion, it's not even an argument or a debate, it's a discussion. I've had this professionally, and it's getting to the point where that other person is just not really, I will say full out, and I've said this, I was like, no, that's not a good idea, or I don't like that idea.
Aren't you a teacher?
Well,
I'm picturing a student.
No, there is that.
Yeah.
But I do other stuff too. Okay, I don't just do that. But in other avenues that I'm in other work that I've been doing, not just with the kids. That's a stupid idea. How old are you? 8. Oh, okay. But yeah. Then I will say, like, I've had meetings that, in particular, with adults. And I'm just like, no, that's a horrible idea. Or I'd be like, really? Like, that's the best you can come up with? So, yeah. But I don't, in terms of like...
But you wouldn't just stop the conversation and, because you disagreed with them, never speak to them again?
No, I've had people delete me off Facebook just because that I've had a different opinion than them. Like, it's interesting how, like, they want their voices to be heard, and I listen to them. But then what happens is, and this is like with like 5, 6, 7 people, and like when it's my turn to talk, and it contradicts what they're saying, and I don't fully agree with them, then that's what it annoys me. It's like, okay, well, you wanted me to hear you out. I gave you that option, or I gave you that opportunity. Okay, then when it comes to my turn, you don't do that, and then that's most of where my ghosting has happened. And so that's why you see me getting so triggered about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very triggered, actually.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I think we're at time, or...
See you next week.
Oh
no! Well, no, because I mean,
I'm gonna come on and do solo.
Okay.
Talk to
a spin-off. Life chat.
That's it. Well, you know what though? I feel like we didn't even get a chance to talk that much this episode. I'm terribly sorry, but it was.
I talk a lot in life. It's
ask
fine.
her a question to finish it off then.
So, did you have a good time in the episode today?
Oh my god, that's the one you ask.
It's really fun. I'm excited to be here next week.
Oh, aren't we all?
It's exciting to get him really riled up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Never gets
the
old.
bear.
Yeah. No, it is. He likes it. He
old.
likes it too. Yeah.
You guys going to the Raptors game, aren't you?
We're gonna watch it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you're going. Got excited.
No. I actually looked at ticket prices and was like.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode, whenever that comes.